1950 Utopia. In the past, people were more optimistic about the future. They predicted future will be very high in technology, objects, vehicles, will fly in all the cities with high-rise skyscrapers and so on. 1950 Dystopia. People predicted the future in the opposite directions. It was the time for witchcraft. People thought if things go bad, they will start making vehicles looks like fish that will hover in the sky while having witchcraft-style fashion, and will be very densely populated with witchcraft-style vehicles in the sky and buildings in the cities. 1960 Utopia. Some concept arts show how the predictions went from complicated to simple. Many predicted the future will be clean and simple. More open spaces, oval designs and mostly made with high-temperature sustainable glasses, and people will travel with their vehicles from road to water and to sky. People will be skyrocketing all over the cities. 1960 Dystopia. Some artists also described how the future might look like if things don't work. There will be high skyscrapers that are attached to each other. There will be neither spaces for green grass nor any clean air. Everything will be polluted with vehicles and technology. Most of the skyscrapers will have parallel designs with square shapes, roads and vehicles. (1970 Utopia). In this era, the predictions were more than just optimistic. During this time people imagined that by 2020 we will be traveling to outer space and have civilization from planet to planet. We will have huge spacecrafts and airports and will be full of high technological aircrafts that can travel through space. (1970 Dystopia). In the same era, they also predicted if things go the other directions then aliens will attack the world and there will be full of destruction all over the cities or globe. They thought if we travel to other planets, we might meet new species or aliens that might come and attack our world for their benefits. (1980 Utopia). In Hong Kong, an artist predicted the future with computers on streets where people are using such computers on streets to know their destinations or for sightseeing overview on the screens. The skyscrapers will have geometric designs. Over bridges, we will have connections from one building to another. Of course there will be flying vehicles and airports will be over the skyscrapers where airplanes will land and take off. Things will be more technologically advanced than usual. (1980 Dystopia). A movie called The Blade Runner by director Ridley Scott. It is a science fiction movie that shows how our world might become in the dark side. There will be high-tech buildings with huge antennas and holographic screens will be all over the cities. There will be no road vehicles required as most of the vehicles will fly as buildings will be very high-rise. Robots will take human forms which might be called humanoids, half human and half robot. (1990 Utopia). Around this time there was this movie called Back to the Future, writer, Robert Zemeckis, Bob Gale. In this sci-fi movie the future looks very optimistic as the cities look very clean and surrounding equipment have new technology acknowledged. Cars with mini jet engines are flying over the cities. Those with skateboards will hover them on air. Environment will be green. People will be happy and enjoying their time with high technology lifestyle. But it didn't show us with skyscrapers, rather showed us how past designs will adjust with future technology. "1990 Dystopia." That time most of the sci-fi movies were obligated by destructions. Most movies showed how most of our cities will become if we do not take care of the environment. Things will grow higher than expected. There will be more skyscrapers and shops will roam around the skies. People will stay home more often than to go out. The atmosphere will be poisoned, so people will have cities inside the big skyscrapers. 2000 Utopia. Citroën car manufactured company predicted that most of our transportation will run on electronic batteries. And we will have better opportunities to breathe fresh air. Most of the cars will be converted from fossil fuel to EV, electric vehicles, by 2020. 2000 Dystopia. Some predicted there will be a war between countries. Nations fighting for power and land of oils with technologically advanced weapons and aircrafts. That actually happened back in 2001 to 2011 when the war started between US and the Middle East. From 2003 to 2011, after getting attacked by terrorists in 2001 that destroyed the World Trade Center in New York, lots of people died from this incident. Though the war started long ago, but these actually changed the world in many directions, including politics and social communications. "2010 Utopia." Science fiction movies during these days were more optimistic than pessimistic. Artists around the world showed different kinds of sci-fi movies that kept our imagination to different level. From this time, I have a movie called Tomorrowland, director Brad Bird. It is sci-fi movie that shows how a parallel universe would look like if existed, and if our brilliant minds could develop better technology that will change our definition of human nature. As this movie depicted that if we want we can transform ourselves to this high technology where humans can fly individually by themselves with jet engines and trains can hover over the city with transparent viewport. Skyscrapers with organic designs flourishing the city in a fairy tales-like atmosphere. 2010 Dystopia. A sci-fi movie called Tron, based on dystopian. Here, the movie scenario was in the dark side of the world. Hence, the theme was focused in darkness with neon lights all over the skyline of the city. Vehicles and structures are made of high technological glasses with neon lights and big machines flying over the cities. This movie tells us many things, but what if the future becomes elegant like this but in the dark atmosphere? "2020 Utopia." Present days. The year started good with more new movies on how technology might evolve time to time. Most of sci-fi movies nowadays predict that the future lifestyle will become more efficient and transform our lives into more cloud-based technology. People will be more socially connected online. Robot technology will boost. AI, artificial intelligence, might take the next step into our daily lives. Transportation will become more efficient in using EV, electric vehicles, technology than using fossil fuel. Things will be bright so far as we acknowledge. 2020 Dystopia. Present days. The world has been attacked by an unknown and invisible virus that affected millions around the world. It spread so quickly that we were not ready to control such effects. As the virus spread so quickly, most countries were not ready to provide proper equipment for the patients. Because of lack of hospital beds and ventilators, electronic breathing aid, and virus testing kits, more people are dying every day. Some people are getting pessimistic about the future if we don't develop a vaccine immediately. (2030 to 2050 Utopia). Many artists from past to present has predicted that future will be very different. There will be robot technology in human form and with AI technology all over the world. Social connections will be more personal by wearing such devices that will provide face front screen technology. Holographic technology will be available by then. Flying objects like drone will be the next movement for transportations. Hyperloop fast train service that will connect from countries by a loophole with high-speed transmission. People will travel to Mars by 2035, and will start forming a civilization. By the time 2050, the technology will go to an unimaginable level as nanotechnology is transforming the biological world. Some says humans can transplant their heart with an artificial heart made with nano and 3D printing technology. (2030 to 2050 Dystopia). In dystopian side, yes, we will have wars between countries and nations, we will have natural destructions, climate change, viruses and diseases, and who knows, maybe one day we will be attacked by aliens from another planet or galaxies. Conclusions. But I think that we will learn and listen and be the best we can to have a comfortable lifestyle. If we learn from our mistakes and become better with society and environments and have sustainable lifestyle. Maybe by doing so, we can rise back over and over again and figure out more efficient technology and products that can make our life easier and enriched. We need to be prepared for worst cases and be also prepared to make it better. Our scientists need to develop better technology and put into work.